Hello and welcome to How to Backup a File seminar brought to you by VBLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Alex Headley. In this seminar, we're going to go through how to backup a file using different methods, be it VBScript, running some command line tools, creating a batch file or a BAT file, or using the task scheduler in Windows. I'm going to be using Windows 7, but you can use any other version of Windows. So, this seminar is going to teach you how to back up a file, be it ad hoc, just copying and pasting it in your Windows Explorer, or creating an automated method. Maybe you want to do it at a scheduled time, day, once a week, whatever your choice is. So the easiest way is manually, just going to Windows Explorer, selecting the file that you want to back up, right clicking and go down to copy, right click again and paste, and there's your copy of the file. Another way of doing this would be to highlight the file. You might need to press Alt to get the file menu up, or right click and lock the toolbar so that it shows. Go to edit, copy, Alt, edit, paste, and we've got it pasted as well. Or obviously there's the keyboard shortcuts of Control C and Control V. And there we have the simplest way to copy a file. Next method would be you could do it in code. You could create some Visual Basic script or VBScript to copy a file to a new destination, give it a new name. So if we crack open Notepad++, we could write some code. So you could dim up a variable, the file system object, and then the file in question. If we set the file system object to be a scripting object, because we actually need to create the file first, you can then use the create text file method to create a file in the location you wish and the name of the file that you want. You can then add information to this file, so just write this as test, close the file. Now we can use the get file to actually retrieve that file we've just created, and then all we'll have to do is supply it with a copy and pick a location and new file name, and then just run it. So if we go back to the Windows Explorer, I've got a version here. If we just double click copy, it then creates the test file, and it creates a copy of that test file there. Now, you might already have the file in question, so this might not be needed. You could just pass in the location of the file into there, and you could also change the name of the subsequent copy. I've created another tutorial that shows you how to rename or archive a file to a different location with the date and time of the file creation. You could use that as well to make it a unique name, but this is just a pretty simple way of doing it. The next, there's the code again, just if you missed any of it. The next thing would be you could create a BAT file or a batch file, and there's a couple of different methods that you could use in conjunction with that VBScript. You could also use the command line. So if we open up the command prompt, there are a couple of commands you could use. So we will check the arguments here. You pass in the copy and you give it a number of different switches that are explained below here. So if we try copy, and we'll just paste in the information we had before. So call it test file.txt, and we need to pass it a destination and another name, and it'll ask you if you wish to overwrite it. You can press yes, no, or all. Yep. You could also pass in the switch of /y, which overwrites it and suppresses any of the overwrite messages. So if we have another look, it's still there. There are also the xcopy. Now this has been deprecated, so you might not wish to use xcopy because it might stop working in future versions of Windows, but it is a very handy command. There's also the move. If you weren't wishing to copy and just transfer the file, you could use that. If we have a quick look at xcopy, so you can do a recursive copy and include any subdirectories within a folder. So the good thing about xcopy is you can copy whole folders and file hierarchies instead of just a particular file. You could also create a bat file to do this, so got a quick version there. So if we give it a quick title and tell it what we want to do, so we want to copy this file and put it there, and we don't wish to have any warnings. Put in a pause there just so that you can see. So it said that file has been copied successfully. Press any key to continue. If you wanted to, you could rem out the pause so that this just automatically runs. You saw a quick flash there of the command prompt. It ran, it closed, and it's created the folder test, and it's put the backup file within there. Good thing about that is that folder didn't exist a second ago, and xcopy actually creates the folder for you. Another option would be to schedule it. You could put it into the startup folder of your machine. So in all programs, you can go to the startup folder and just drop the bat file or the VBScript file into the startup folder so that when your computer runs, it'll start. Another option, a bit more advanced, would be to create a registry key and merge this to your registry. So you need to create the key of the run in the local machine, give it a name and set it to the file and folder location of the script that you've just created. Another thing you can do is use the task scheduler. So the task scheduler allows you to set off a certain task at different points in time. To get to this, you need to go to the Start and then Control Panel, Systems and Security, Administrative Tools, and then open up Task Scheduler. So if we open up Control Panel, I'll go back to Category View. If we go to System and Security, Administrative Tools, we're in there. Another way of getting to that is in Small Icons and Administrative Tools. Now, in Administrative Tools, there is the Task Scheduler. If we open that up, so Task Scheduler. If you go to Create Basic Task, you can give it a name, so Test, and a description if you want. Go to Next. And when do you want the task to start? So you can set it daily, weekly, monthly, one time when the computer starts, so when you've booted it up, when you specifically log in, or when a specific event is logged. So if we wanted it when the computer starts, click that and Next. What would we like to do? You can perform different tasks, send an email, display a message where you want to start a program, and then the program or script you can browse to, so just pick the backup. Now, before we had it waiting for us to do something, so user input. If you're running a schedule, you probably don't want user input in case they're not there. You just want it to run in the background quietly, so try and not use any input or have any prompts that are user necessary, unless of course that's what you want. You can pass in the arguments there if you did, and pick where you wanted to start. So click next, and you can bring up the properties if you wish and have a look at different things there. So you can change different permissions, set different triggers, what did we want, the action, conditions, history. Just gonna, yeah. So yep, you can do it automatically when the computer starts, or you can do it at a specific time and date. And that's it for today. If you've got any questions, please post a comment and I'll get back to you. Thanks.